Hello, everybody. Welcome to What's in Your Cup.
Up, cutie, cutie.
So, we have the queen herself on with us tonight. I'm so excited. Just going to have a little girl talk, chop it up. I'm going to let her introduce herself. So, ma'am, the floor is yours. Tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, hey everybody, hello. How's your heart? That's one of my questions I love to ask. How's your heart? I'm Courtney Jordan. I am from Eufaula, Alabama, from the Big
The big E.
eBay, up in the AME Church.
Yeah.
But I'm from, like I said, I'm from Eufaula, and I have a nonprofit organization. It's called Conversation with Queens. And I just wanted to let you guys know we are on Facebook if you're interested. It's just a community of women where we get together and we talk about different things. We have different events throughout the year, different gatherings. And the whole point is for us to be a community where we can different topics and value each other's perspective. So that's what it is. And I have goals set for the nonprofit organization for us to grow and flourish to be better for our community. We're getting
Mhm.
there, but we need more people. So join our Facebook group so you can be a part of different gatherings and activities we have. I have a little one. She's 8 years old. I'm a mommy. She was blessed into my life. So, we can dive into that a little bit later as well. Um, I don't know. I'm Courtney. I'm Courtney. I,
So, so Courtney, tell me a little bit how we're gonna work up to how your journey got you to conversations with queens. So, we are, I'm a mom too. So we're moms, sister friends, daughters, all of that. So tell me, we work. So tell me at this point in time, how are you finding a balance between being somebody's mama, being a daughter, being a friend, being a sister? So how are you finding balance with that? May is, you know, the month we celebrate motherhood, but that's an around the clock 24 hours 365 plus job. So how are you finding balance with that right now?
would say I'm finding balance by number one, remembering that I'm a woman. But
Mm-hmm.
I have to be everything I need for me first.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mommy, sister, daughter, I have to be what I need, if that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. So that's how I find the balance. I often have to remember, like, because we can get overwhelmed with being mama. We can get overwhelmed with being the daughter. We can
Yes.
with being the friend. But I have to have that moment for me. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I find my balance. If it's just taking, if I get up an extra 30 minutes early just to have me a cup of coffee, play me some music that's gonna relax me and set my tone for the day, that's me having some balance.
Yes.
Because the day is about to get started and it's about to be hectic. So I see about me. That's how I get my balance. I find ways to see about Courtney.
Okay, so how did is that always something is that something you've always been able to do, or did you have to stumble into making sure that Courtney got what she needed?
Not always. I had to stumble. Yes, ma'am. I had to stumble. I reached a breaking point
Mm-hmm.
because I always wanted to make sure everybody else was taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Put me last. So I had to go into, I'm gonna say, a dark place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So it happened overnight. And it's still I'm still working on it.
Yeah, it's definitely a process. I'll say I've also been in the dark place, And I think if we as women be just honest with ourselves, we can all really say, you know what, I've been in the dark place. I sat there for a little while, and I didn't. Sometimes you don't know how to get out. Sometimes somebody have to come and get you and pull you out of the place. I still, while people be laughing at me, because they be like, "Oh, girl, you mean?" I be like, "No, I have I am learning to master the art of healthy boundaries for myself when it comes to things. I can now tell people, you know what, hey, I don't have the capacity for that today. That is because I'm heavy, so I can't take yours on today. So stumbling, even though we stumble and fall into things, I definitely think it works for our good. All things can work together if we allow them to, because sometimes we don't allow them to work together. Sometimes we are. I was listening to something the other day, and it was, the title of the sermon was "The Battle Made Me Better." But you have to allow the things to come in and be a benefit, because sometimes we get there and we stay in the sunken place. So it's good. So tell me how your journey to finding yourself led to the conversations with queens.
Um, okay. To where we were about stumbling into it. And
Mm-hmm.
um I'm in a dark place. And I wanted to discuss things and talk about how I was feeling, but I wanted to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm gonna say maybe finding others that got it. You get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I, like-minded individuals around me. Because I knew I was in that dark place too long till I was losing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to let go of myself.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't right. This is not normal. I need some help. And I need to talk to somebody. And I know I'm not by myself. I'm not by myself. Now my dark place might not look like yours, but
Mm-hmm.
in one. You know what I'm saying? So I said it's not a community here in my area that I could go. We don't have any group circles or group. We don't have that. So I said, well, I'm gonna have to create my own because
Mm.
I'm not carrying this. I mean, I don't carry this alone. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have our own battle that we have to. But God didn't put us here alone, so we got to learn how to lean and depend on others. You know what I'm saying? I can't
Mm-hmm.
expect Ebony to fight my battle, but I can say it should be some point that I can say, Ebony, girl, I just need a moment to lean on over here, just a minute. You know,
Yeah.
Ebony, I just need you to feel where I'm coming from. So that's how conversations with queens became. Um, a very, very dark place, needed community. I said, I'm gonna create my own. So I put it out there. I had did a lot of people don't like for you to say it, but I did some shadow work. I sat in my dark place
Mm-hmm.
about me. What is it? It's a reason I'm going through this. So I sat there for a while. Um,
You breaking up a little bit, Courtney.
how about now?
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, God, I need a little help. So I just started reaching out to different ladies about different things, and they got it.
Mm-hmm.
So we became a group. I'm gonna try to cut my car light on because I'm in the car. I'm getting dark.
Yes, it's getting dark out there now.
So let me cut this light on. See if it'll help a little bit. Okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, that's how the group came about through my dark place.
Okay. And I think a lot of things come or birth when we are in the dark place, because most inventions, if we really look back at it, come from a place of necessity. And I am glad that you said, okay, something is missing, And instead of waiting for someone else to create it, you created it. And that's a beautiful thing, to be able to, in the midst of your pain, take it and turn it into purpose.
Amen.
And that's a hard thing to do, because even when we're sitting in it and we know it, being able to pick yourself up just enough to take a step forward, to be like, you know what, I need this, so I know somebody else needs it too, and to be transparent in that, because we all know in the African American community, transparency as far as mental health needs isn't always appreciated. I
Mhm.
do think there has been a major shift um in that lane. People are, especially, probably people age 30 and up are very much, between like 30 and 45, are very much, mental health focused, like, hey, this is okay. And having it in spaces, I'm really an advocate for pushing mental health in the church, because that should be one of our main communities that should be reaching out to be like, hey, I see this as a need. So, motherhood, because this is my motherhood series. How did that change you as a person?
It saved my life. To be
Okay.
honest, it saved my life. It gave me, um, it helped me with a, it gave me a different perspective on life, because before motherhood,
Mm-hmm.
being honest and transparent,
Honest and transparent.
sister girl was having a good time. Oh, living it up every night. I didn't have to worry about nobody but me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, um, that also didn't help with being in a dark place. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
things did not help. But yeah, it saved my life. It saved my life. It helped me to sit down, and then when you have somebody like this is a little girl. She's watching everything
Everything you do.
I do. I look at her now, like I said, she's 8, and she has picked up so much of my mannerism. And I'm like, girl, you got to watch everything you do. I got to watch what I say.
Listen.
So I I handle me in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
It even she even helped me to set boundaries, because before I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
She helped me, because I'm like, I can't allow this from this. I can't allow this, because
Yes.
I need to show her that she doesn't have to allow it. So yeah, she saved my. It saved my life. Saved my life.
I can I can say motherhood did definitely shifted me too. My first child, my son, he was a preemie. He was like a pound and 14 ounces, 13 ounces. So I was in a protection mode. Oh, did I lose you? So I think we're having a technical difficulty, but just but I will talk to y'all that are watching. Okay, there we go.
I'm sorry. Somebody was calling me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I was saying, as motherhood for me, when my son was born, I was, he was a preemie. We were in and out of the hospital. I was like, you know what? I'm on. And so being a nurse, it was like I was always in nursing mode. And when I had my daughter, um, I was able to relax some, and she actually helped me parent him better, because it wasn't always, you got to protect them. We relax, we laugh, we giggle. So I would definitely agree, being a mother changes you fundamentally at your core. And as far as having a meanie, I definitely have to, like, she pick up everything. And like she is, and it was funny because when I was pregnant with her, I said, Lord, this need to be a boy, because the world cannot take two me's. Can't take two me's, but the world got it. It got two
Mhm.
me's. Ebony 1 and Ebony 2. Like, she is 2 point Ebony 2.0, new and improved, and she is me on 10. So I am just Come on, say hey to the people, little nosy. Me
Hello.
point. Get out my interview. Me point oh. But yeah, so it it does, and it can be life altering and life saving.
Yeah, most definitely.
So tell me how the people can support you in your conversations with queens.
Um, like I said, join the group. A lot of
Mhm.
things that we do, come participate. That's the biggest support, because by you participating, you're helping get us out there.
Mhm.
That's one of the main reasons. And yeah, just join in. And it's called Conversations with Queens for a reason, because I like to converse. So
Mhm.
we need to, I like you to come on with it. Come with some topics, come with some ideas you may want to do. And I'm here to support those as well. I'm not alone. I thought of it, but it is
Mhm.
not a group by myself. You get what I'm saying? I need everybody. I want everybody from all ages.
Okay,
I
so
want Granny there. I want because we need the elders. We need
we do. We need the elders.
elders. We got lost somewhere. Somewhere we got lost. We don't want to hear what Auntie and Granny got to say. We
Cause
got lost.
why? Cause we did get lost, and we are the other folk don't do that. You know they don't want to talk about that, but they don't. You know they listen to the elders. You know, especially in other ethnicities. So I don't know what happened along the way where we just be like, you know what, we don't want to hear mom and them no more. Because
Mm-mm.
and I believe that you need the people surrounding you with differing opinions so that you can critical think. You have to critical think through some stuff.
Yeah. I would say this, Miss Ebony. When we're speaking about the elders, and I was saying, like, we got lost somewhere, but if it come, everything it's a full circle. You know what
Circle.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you need it. You're going. You need to talk to
You
Granny.
need it.
You need it, because when we raising a different generation, but we still have to remember it's things that they've seen we have not seen.
Right. You have to have
So we need it. That's a part of our balance.
it. Hmm.
And see where we go back to mental health, where things we can acknowledge our mental health issues, they didn't have that opportunity. You
Right.
feel me? So
Hmm.
we're able to be a voice for them in that way. And that's why I've been saying, we're able to speak up, because there's a lot of things I can speak on this, my truth, and I can speak on, like, I can remember my grandmother dealing with anxiety. She didn't know it was anxiety, you know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And it took my grandmother on down through.
Because it will.
It led her to a mental state, and it also, I feel, it triggered her. She dementia. It triggered
Hmm.
it, because she suffered with anxiety so bad, and she didn't know how to cope with it or what to do. It goes back to the. It's just a lot, girl. We could go on and on and on. We could go on. I ain't gonna hold you on all of that, but we could go on and on. We're supposed to be there for each other, the elders and the younger generation. We're supposed to.
We are, and I agree. I do think the generations before us did not have the opportunity to put the right name on what they were going through. You know,
Right.
you couldn't be depressed because, oh, you know, you just need to go pray about it. And so I am glad that this generation and the ones after us are being allowed to embrace what something really is. I'm a firm advocate of, if you need to go get some medicine, go on and get it. Go on and get that. You know, when I was going through my first divorce, I I had to start Lexapro because I was down bad. But and I tell people sometimes you need to stay on that and sometimes you don't. I came off of Lexapro because my depression was situational. Everybody's isn't. Sometimes you need that, and I think they need to realize it's okay because we have to pray and work. We have to watch and pray, and those things are intertwined. They go hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
And it's okay if you need that. I did something one time and entitled the section, I love I got God and a therapist too, because I'm gonna need you to have both. Because if we're not working on ourselves, then we will continue to perpetuate the vicious cycle that we're in, and we have to do something to break that. So I am so excited, and I'm going to join the group
Come on, girl.
tonight. I'm going to join it tonight
Come on, girl.
because I several years ago, and this was probably during the middle of COVID, I prayed for a circle of reciprocity to create that environment. And so I have been so blessed to come across different people, places, things, and strong women who have been able to be reciprocal. You pour out something, and as soon as you pouring out something, somebody's pouring it right back into you. And I love that. And we are most definitely stronger together. Everybody got a lane. It's enough for everybody out here, and we
Amen.
must support each other.
Amen. I agree.
So, as we wrap, tell me what's in your cup. So, how do you keep your? Because one of my favorite things to tell people is that we must minister from our overflow so that we are never empty. So, how do you keep your cup full so that you can give to those from your saucer?
I keep my cup full by journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Journaling, I've always journaled all my life. And it helps me. And it helps me to keep my cup full. I do I do meditation. And I also listen. I speak words of affirmation, but I keep my ears filled with positive music.
Mm-hmm.
I have to. That helps me a lot. I set the tone for my day, if
Okay.
that makes sense. So that helps me keep my cup full, because even though I work in finance, I still run. I'm an empath, so I feel people's emotions. And
Yes,
oh,
girl.
every day, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm still here. Every day, I run across so many different emotions in people's stories and hurt and pain, and I feel it. So I have to keep myself sane, and that's what I do. I set the tone for my day, because I never know what person I'm going to run into, and I just feel that that's God's calling. That's God's calling for me.
Mm-hmm.
He put me in that place to be there, to be a listening ear, and to give words, positive words, and of course I pray. But just like you stated a few statements ago, you have to pray and work.
You gotta pray and work.
Pray and work. Um, yeah, I don't, girl. We can go on to girl,
Look, yeah.
another sermon on that.
Look, you said you see, I get hyped up right there. You gotta pray
I'm
and you
not
gotta
going.
work.
I'm getting there, but I'm not going to go. We're going to hold it to because we will talk again. We shall
Yes,
do this again.
we shall.
But yeah. So yeah, of course I pray. Of course I pray. Of course I read the word, but I also do some work.
Cause you gotta do some what work. You
Work.
gotta ugh.
So
And
do the
you know what? Cause I'm a PK.
hmm
I don't. We done been up down through there. But one of my things is there was this book that I read, and the title of it was "I Would Like You More If You Were More Like Me." And you think it was like, you're gonna teach people how to treat you, but that was not the focus of the book. The book was teaching you how to shift so that you could be open to receive what people needed you to receive. And it made me do a I was up there with the mirror up to my face, like,
right,
mm. And
right.
so, and I'm still working on me every day, because when you have been in a place so long to where you try to modify and shift to give everybody else what you need, that is a learned behavior. So back sometimes you slip back, and like I done took on too many projects just this month,
Yeah,
but I was like, you know what, next month coming, I'm gonna chill out. because when you serve, and I'm an empath as well, so like I can be watching TV and then just break down crying, or I can be sitting on the side of the bed and all of a sudden the heaviness drops on me, and then I have to call around to my friends, be like, "Hey, you all right? You
Girl,
all you all right? You all right?"
girl,
So
girl.
like it was one Sunday morning, I'm sitting on the side of the bed, and I just this overwhelming sense of grief hit me. And by the time I text the second person, I had found out who it was, because I was like, there's nothing going on in my world that should elicit this type of grief, this type of heaviness that I'm feeling. And I text one of my good sisters, I'm like, "You all right?" And she was like, she texted me and she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But then not even 5 minutes later, she texts me back, "How you know?"
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, cause so yeah, I get it. And that thing heavy. That thing be heavy.
It be
But
heavy.
yes, but because we can go on for that
I
forever.
know, I know
So,
it.
and I know you need to get in that house,
I
but
know it.
I thank you so much for coming on and talking with me this evening, because I promised I wasn't gonna keep you long. If you are out there, for those who are coming back and watching, please go and join the Conversations with Queens Facebook group, so that we can tap in with each other and keep each other lifted and encouraged. This
Yes,
has been What's in Your Cup. Yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am. And how's your heart, honey?
And
Thank you
look, so
so
you
much.
can answer, how is your heart?
Yes. Thank you so much, Miss Ebony. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me. Y'all
Yes,
have a good night.
yes. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.